Again, silly me, I'd returned my code to normal. From the last one, I would, if I'd have put print guess, then it would have printed the guess as I went through, but I put pass in, so it just jumped over it. So let's just check that that works when I run the code. Please enter a numeric code 1111. There we go, it's printed it out, 2222, keeps going round until I enter the correct code. Then it tells me how many attempts I've made, which is what I want. The only problem I've got with my game at the moment, let's run it again, is that I could type in AAA. It's happy, but it's not numeric. So really I want to stop that happening. I want to check to see if it's a numeric code, and if you've gone back to the actual document in project notes on Mastermind, let's just go there for a second. In project notes on Mastermind, that was a guide from the exam board on what they wanted for the exam. Sorry it's not appearing in here, it's an old version. I'm running Windows XP and I don't think it's capable of showing modern stuff. But in the guide it told us that, or the code that the exam board used was an isNumeric function, which is not available in Python 2.7. So we've got to sort of write our own isNumeric function. So I'm going to start off with that now. I'm going to have a function called isNumeric, which is just going to return true if the guess is a number, or 4 digits or a number, and it's going to return false if any one of those is not a digit. So I'm just going to set valid to true at the moment and return valid so that it doesn't crash when I run the program and I've got a decent result. But if I set valid to true, I'm assuming that the guess is okay. So whatever checking that I'm going to do after this line of code around about here is going to change this valid to false if I find a non-numeric character, and I'm not going to do anything if it doesn't find a non-numeric character. So valid equals true is going to stay there. It's not going to change unless I get an invalid character. So I've got to think where I need to call this in my program. So it's just after the user has typed in the guess, which is here. But I can't just write straight after it valid equals, well, I can write it, but it won't do a great deal, because I want to keep looping and looping and looping until they actually enter a correct code, until it's a numeric code. So what I'm going to do is, as I did before with here, I'm going to set valid to begin with to be false in this case. I do not want it to I want it to be able to change it inside the loop to say that it's true, to stop the loop working. So I've got a loop. Again, it's going to run forever, so I don't need a for loop. I'm going to use a while loop. While not valid. Now if valid is false, all this is going to become true, and it's going to perform these two lines over and over again until I'm given a valid number. And this is where I'm going to be checking in this function whether it's an actual number. So I've got to think about the code that I'm going to write there. But there's another problem that I have. What happens if the length of the code, I mean, I give it 3 numbers or I give it 5 numbers, I actually want it to be exactly 4 numbers and them all to be numbers. So I'm going to take that into account now, and we've met this function before. The length of the guess is equal to 4, and I'm going to wrap all of that up inside parenthesis. So I've used an AND logical, so both of these, that needs to be true and that needs to be true for valid to be true, and I've wrapped them all in parenthesis. It's a very strange statement, but it like BODMAS in maths, it will do whatever's in parenthesis first. So what it will do is it will work these out and then assign the result to there. So if it isn't numeric but it is length 4, then this is going to be false because it's an AND. So 1 and 0 is 0. The same goes for if that is numeric, if it is a number but it's only 3, that's going to be true, that's going to be false, and an AND gives me a false there. If both of them are false, so if it's AA, in other words, it's not numeric and it's only 2 characters long, that's going to be false, that's going to be false, that's going to be false. So the only chance of it working is when both of these are true. So in the next video I'm going to work out how to test each character in my guess to make sure that it's a digit.